Since my husband passed away, I felt a hunger within me that only seems to grow with each passing day. In the dead of night, I find myself longing to be completely overtaken, to surrender myself entirely to someone's strength. I am at an age where my physical cravings are at their peak. Coupled with this strange affliction of mine, I find myself in a state of constant, quiet torment. With no other choice, I turn to the village doctor, hoping he could cure this condition that I'm far too embarrassed to name. Whenever the world goes still at night, that longing erupts inside me. It's an unbearable restlessness, like a slithering heat beneath my skin that refuses to be stilled, leaving me perpetually unsatisfied. Ever since my husband, Damon Neal, passed away in that tragic accident, my body has ached for his touch. The desire has only intensified, becoming something I can no longer suppress. I've tried every home remedy I could think of, but nothing has worked. I am in the prime of my life, yet this desire follows me like a shadow, a bittersweet intrusion into my every waking moment. One day, I went out to the fields to harvest corn. The moment I stepped into the rows of stalks, it was as if a primal force took hold of me. My vision blurred, and a wave of heat surged through my entire body. I knew my sickness was acting up again. In a moment of panicked instinct, I fumbled with my clothes and pressed myself against a cornstalk. It was too thin to truly satisfy the ache, but with no other options, I had to make do. I slowly succumbed to that burning sensation, feeling as though I was becoming someone I didn't even recognize. My needs took over, and the only sound in the field was the low, heavy rhythm of my own breath. I moved with a desperate intensity, the fleeting sensation offering a small mercy to the deep-seated hunger within me. Tears pricked the corners of my eyes, born from the sheer weight of my own needs. I gripped the thick stalks tightly, my face flushed with heat. Doing this out in the open, in the middle of the field, gave me a secret thrill. In that moment, the rest of the world seemed to vanish. It was just me, shamelessly releasing everything I had been bottling up inside. Afterward, I lay there exhausted among the broken stalks I had crushed beneath me. That was when I heard it, a man's sharp intake of breath, followed by the distinct sound of a zipper sliding down. Even when I was lost in that wave of heat earlier, I had felt a pair of intense eyes watching me, but I had been powerless to stop. Now, peering through the sparse leaves, I saw a pair of long, pale hands moving with a powerful, rhythmic energy. The sight made me catch my breath. I had never seen such an impressive display of masculinity. It was enough to put even my late husband to shame. I was mesmerized, unable to look away as I imagined how satisfying that strength would feel. We were the only two souls in that field, which meant he had seen everything. All my shameful, uninhibited movements. The thought sent a fresh jolt of electricity through me. I felt a pang of self-consciousness, wondering how a woman of my age could still be so easily stirred. But when I stood up to try and see his face, he hurried away, disappearing into the distance. A wave of regret washed over me. I knew that if we had continued, he would have completely shattered my defenses, letting me fall apart in the most beautiful way possible. I gathered a few ears of corn and started the walk home. As I turned to leave, I caught sight of the damp earth beneath my feet, and my ears burned a deep, fiery red. By the time I got home, I had lost my appetite completely. My mind was stuck in a loop, replaying those raw, unfiltered images of the man in the cornfield. I lay on my bed, one shoulder exposed to the air. My legs were pressed tight, and a fine mist of sweat broke out across my forehead. Even though I'm approaching 40, I've kept my figure well. I'm voluptuous in all the right places, with curves that haven't faded. Looking down at myself, I couldn't help but sit a little straighter. Summer had arrived, and for some reason, my condition was only getting worse. I had heard that a new doctor had moved to the village, a man named Roderick Walker. Biting my lip, I weighed my options and finally decided to seek help. If this continued to escalate, I feared I wouldn't be able to lead a normal life. Early the next morning, I dressed and headed to the clinic. When I arrived,